Hey everyone, I'm going to be doing a breakdown of the UnderMine 2 trailer. It starts off with what looks like the perfect timing from the credits from the first game, but the game trailer starts with dropping off in here and first look of the actual game, which appears to be the gold mines. And first big difference I noticed is the walls. They look a lot more textured, and it seems to be like a lot less. Well, you could see like the I'm thinking about it was less tile-like. You can't see it here, but it looks like they connect a little better, look a little better connected as well, in my opinion. Another big difference I noticed is the lighting. I'm pretty sure the devs went with new lighting in the game, and it definitely looks different from the original game. Other changes I've noticed is like there's holes in the walls. I'm not sure if there's going to be any use for that, if they're just like decoration. Then you have this door down here, which I think from seeing before is like the door to a shop, which would be some. I'm wondering because I'm thinking is if this is like dropping down right into the gold mines and there's a shop first floor, that would be a difference from the first game where in regular Undermine there's no shop until at least gold mines 2. And another thing is the pits. There's actually stuff in the pits. Looks like they have depth now instead of being plain black. That's a big change I like to see. The rocks with gold in them now look different than regular rocks. That's another nice change. And this looking around animation, I know that's not a game. That was done just for the trailer. There's like 5 right there. Not the game either, but yeah, that's all it for the gold mines part of the Git section. Okay, the next area that is this part of the trailer, and I'm not sure if this has a name. Looks similar to an area called the Archives, which was shown in some screenshots. I'm not sure if it's exactly the same because the walls look a little different. But some of the things I've noticed, first of all, is Black Rabbit has the floating skulls equipped, that relic, and it looks like the texture has been changed. Then you have this floating guy, which I'm not sure is supposed to be a familiar or what, but he appears a couple of times throughout the game. Then you have thorium returning, probably to craft relics again, and then gold, and then that's in a gold statue. And the regular old games, classic gold textures are returning. Other thing in here is, like, it looks like now there's a little shockwave for these enemies, which is in the first game, of then Black Rabbit. She has a special dagger throwing attack. Looks like she could dash there, which I haven't seen the peasant. I don't think the peasant does in the trailer, so I think that's like Black Rabbit's special dodging ability. That'd be my guess. Is all the characters in the game they have their own special ability to dodge attacks. Right here, the peasant uses what's called an Arcana. They're like special relics in the game that you need to use mana for, but they are activated with some button. We don't know what yet, but it would be likely changeable. And what I'm pointing out here is when the water glamps, they stomp down. This one created water, which they don't do that in the original game. The original game, it's only the oil and fire glamps that do it. That create puddles down, and there's a little pilfer up there with exclamation mark. This room also, another thing going back, is it's a lot bigger. This is one of the conjoined rooms that they're working on that you could also see in screenshots of the game. They're probably going to function a lot like Isaac's combined rooms, in my opinion. This Arcana also just shoots fireballs that bounce, and these things fly out, and I think this looks like what it could be is like the mana to regenerate the Arcanas. And then that's it, and then it just goes through this room. In the next area, I'm not sure what the name of it is, but it has purple walls and looks a little rocky. It looks like it could be almost the bog with the plants. They look like some from the bog and the noxious goblins. Another, another thing to notice in here is the return of mines. They're in here along with the spiders who seem to not have really any texture change, and got the noxious poison bomb glob. This is a grappling hook. That's one of the arcanas as well. And that can traverse across the room. It's going to be probably like Sequence Breaker, but changed a little because I know Sequence Breaker, from what the dev said before, it did break the game a lot. Another new enemy appears is this guy. It's either a bee or hornet. I think it's more like a hornet from its looks. The way it functions is I think it's going to be a replacement for the flies because they just seem to shoot regular projectiles. And neat, these guys playing bombs, but they seem to be regular bombs now. And then there's this little bomb segment. Not much going on. There's some new particles for the chest, new decorations, iron coffin. But this is just Black Rabbit. Okay, the next scene in the trailer is this shop area. And it has the same door as back was in. You find it here in the gold mine. So I'm thinking that's why it's probably going to be a shop, in my opinion. Some other things that happen is it seems there's only 4 items, so I'm not sure if this is like early game or if there's going to be a difference and you can't really expand the shop as much in this version. The things you notice around is there's this guy that looks like a turtle. I'm not sure if that's going to be anything for gameplay or if it's going to be just for decoration. And something else is that the pill for merchant, she's been redesigned. There's also seems to have like a potion. I'm not sure what that is. I think it's a bomb, food, and a relic. They all have their own like bottoms. It seems. So it seems like depending on the higher rarity the item is, the more it's like displayed on. And then looking at the sword, I think I don't know. There's like some people thinking maybe a different form of attacking, but I don't think that because it seems like for different ways to attack in the game, the devs want to have that to be different characters, which I understand. But it'd be neat to have relics that change. That's probably just by the price. I'm guessing it's just a regular relic and not an arcana or anything. Then there's this potion, Colosseum, temporary embiggens nearby allies. This is a new UI. It looks I really like it. It looks a lot cleaner, more polished. You have the gold cost, the item look, what type. It's a serum, which are pretty common in the first game. Here it has who effects. I'm guessing allies, so it's all friendly players, followers, including you. That's like who it will affect, my get then, and then what it does. And this one, Colosseum, it just increases health, max health, strength, and other things we're not sure about is ingenuity, reach, caliber, and recklessness. Reach caliber could be throws, like distance, damage, ingenuity. I'm not sure if that could be in recklessness. I feel like could be damage resistant. Transfers into this area, which looks to be the gold mines again, with the hornets that seem to be attacking just like the flies are in the original game, which makes me think that that's what they are, is just going to be a replacement for flies. They do look a lot better than the flies, in my opinion. And this gives a player ability to break rocks with just their pickaxe. That could be useful. And swinging. There's not much going on there. Then it cuts back to this, which is just another bomb ping pong segment. Which is dropping into here, which is looking like it's supposed to be some sort of banquet with Bagledad, who seems to appear to be a new character in the game. Not sure how big of. They're probably going to be a decently important in the story, not how much though. And then you have this character, which we don't know the name of it yet, but with the way it looks, I think it may be veiling or something related to Death's Hand, but I'm not sure exactly. Peasant falls in, then Bagel had questions what the peasant's doing in there. There's not a whole lot. Looks like the food though is mainly just the same fish, meat, some other stuff. It'd be neat though to see in the game a little more food. Another thing is there's just a chest sitting here, so I'm wondering if that's gonna be like an important item for the peasant or something. Yeah, but there's not much to that section. The next section is going to be a new boss fight. And there's a lot of things I've noticed from watching this before. The one thing, if you pay attention, is you could see a lot more of the peasant's animations, like the gold sack moving while jumping. The other thing is, like here you could see Black Rabbit getting ready to use a new Arcana, which looks like some sort of ice spikes. The boss mainly by hitting its eyes, which shrink, and then it looks like this area is the area with the walls from over here, which I don't think it would be bog, because if they did redo the boss, I don't think they'd redo it this dramatically. It looks to be a big wall blob almost. It looks like here, Flat Rabbit, she is able to jump, so that's neat. Then a peasant jumping animation here as well, where they're looking up, and then the gold bag's going down. And here's another one that seems to be shooting like arrows. It looks almost like the Nemesis ability in the original UnderMine, where it could shoot the three at you, but instead of knives, these are arrows. And it seems to be that. Ping pong. Okay. And then going the next area is back in gold mines, and you could see a lot more of the holes, which look a lot better. But then there's some things shows here. These enemies, I'm not sure what they're supposed to be called. I think they may have a name that was given by like emotes in the UnderMine server, but I'm not sure exactly. But another big thing to look at is these skeletons up here, which first off, they're definitely redesigned from the first game. Look a lot better in my opinion. They have this purplish glow, and I'm pretty sure that's supposed to be an Arcana being used by Black Rabbit. What happens is it summons friendly skeletons, and I'm pretty sure there's a screenshot of the Arcana sum in like one of the screenshots shared for the game. Another thing I want, there's how the fog is purple. I wonder if that's for all characters or only for Black Rabbit. Then other characters are going to have their own color when summoning enemies or allies to differentiate it in multiplayer. These enemies, it looks like they're shooting three, like bullets or whatever they're called. So I think they may be a replacement for like the treble flies, and lurkers are back. And then, yeah, wait, going back here. Then anything else I missed back here? No, nope, that's it. Yeah, that's it for that area. Another thing is it's also one of the bigger, like, looks like 2x2 areas. So that's going to be really neat to explore and do stuff in. With this new enemy, which I believe is called a croaker, but I'm not sure what importance they play. Another thing is keys are back. That looks like they're could be. Which everything in the game looks slightly different. There's a weird texture here with throwing these, which by the way they act, they look like balls, but they also look like the bullet seer spawns when she spits them out and they bounce the arena. But they seem to explode on impact. The one went through the enemy, so they seem to collide with the walls and other objects. Cause fire. That does damage the peasant, I think. Looks like they're on fire there. I think that. And it looks like back in the area with the purple walls. Then there's this arena fighting Celt. The Celt's going to return. That's really nice. The arena's definitely been updated. So you have areas like this, which I'm not sure how Felt's going to work with the solid walls. Although that'd be interesting to change up the gameplay. A couple of things I noticed is looking at the edges of the arena, they're a lot more, looks like it should be a lot more circular now than the original game, which in the original game, the arena is just completely square with nothing in it. Other things is you have like these which look like stalactites, so I'm not sure if that's going to be a new attack for the boss itself, which it looks like it could be. That'd be making the fight a little more challenging. And then you have these things, which look like almost like the exploding crystal rocks in the caverns in the original game. But they could also be fire, so they may either spawn fire everywhere or they could just shoot out spikes in like 8 directions. They'd be neat using. Then Celt's also definitely been changed. It looks like her scales are textured a little less pixelated. But the main change is like her face, because that's definitely been changed a lot. Looks a lot more intimidating and threatening now. Also, I'm not sure exactly, but it looks like the scale has been changed maybe slightly between the peasant and Celt, or maybe I'm just misremembering things. Goes into the trailer key art thing, and then that's it for the trailer. The first big feature of the game is going to be co-op, and this co-op seems to be 2 players, and it's going to be focused mainly on local play. The game's second big feature is going to be playable characters, and right now the only other playable character that we know of is Black Rabbit. The second new feature is going to be branching paths, so this means that you don't need to take the same 5 zones down through the game or UnderMine. Although right now it's not clear exactly how extensive this is going to be. The next big game feature is going to be Arcana, and these are just going to be relics that you can activate whenever. Final new feature for the game is going to be Steam Workshop and modding support. This is one that I'm excited for, but right now it's not clear if it's going to be in the game if it launches in early access, or if it's going to be saved for a full release. These are some of the game's promotional and key art. These are some of the game's official logos. This logo is not exactly related to UnderMine 2, but it's a new Thorium logo with the name Thorium Occult Geometry. The first screenshot shows Black Rabbit to be fighting what looks like assassins and hornets in a new area called the Archive. The second screenshot shows the player in an area that seems to have some importance for the story or gameplay, along with having 2 new relics equipped. The third screenshot shows the new shop layout. The fourth screenshot shows Beltram in a lab setting. The fifth screenshot shows the player as Black Rabbit in the dungeons. The third screenshot is of the player and Black Rabbit in the mines. This screenshot shows the player and Black Rabbit in what appears to be the dungeon. The next screenshot shows the player in what appears to be the hub or the game starting area. The next screenshot shows the player in what appears to be the hub or the game starting area. The next screenshot is supposed to be a GIF, but I have it saved as a screenshot, but what it does is it shows the designs of some of the new Arcana. The next picture shows a character that's named Bibby. The next picture is a screenshot of a new Arcana called Goblet of Grin that lets you drink a copy of your current potion. There is also new character art for the Peasant, Black Rabbit, Pilfer, Beltrame Bobo. There's also art for the new character Bagglebag, who was featured in the trailer. There's also this character named Armor, whose design is similar to Ildon's, and whose shield looks like that of the Paladin's shield.